It's good to have you back. You tune into the South African Morning. Now, let's bring you this where there's been a surge of COVID-19 infections in parts of the country. And the South African Council of Churches is appealing to people to observe all COVID-19 protocols. Now, it says the church must lead by example, this to avoid a third wave. But for more on this, the church, or rather the council's Reverend Malusi Mpumlwana speaks to us now all the way from Pretoria. Bishop, good to have you and good morning to you. Now, I also understand that you are of the belief that everyone has a role to play here in not only, preventing, a looming third wave, but also protecting one another, protecting ourselves, as well as in as far as the leaders, as well as the congregants are concerned. What is that role, do you think, that we can play?
Well, I think that that's this background really is that the background is that we have a population of over 60s. That's about 5 billion people in South Africa. And we also know that even though this is only 9% of the population, that 60% of the deaths come from this population. And 36% of the hospitalizations are in this population. So if we vaccinate this population as much as possible within the time into the winter, we will actually have a huge difference. So our appeal is that everybody knows an uncle, a mother, a grandmother who is about 60. It's your responsibility to make sure that this winter is not the last one for that person. And that's really what we're saying. And so we're saying that young people should make sure that they get their over 60s in their family, their neighborhoods, registered for vaccination. If the gap is between May the 17th next week and the middle of July, if we can do this, 5 million people vaccinated during that time, imagine how much saving of life we can achieve.
Yeah, and Bishop, hearing from what you're saying, you're also appealing to young people to volunteer their time and assist our senior citizens in getting this vaccination drive around the way, because when we look at parts of the Western Cape, it seems that registering process is quite slow. So I have to put it to you that our grandmothers and grandfathers sometimes, Bishop, especially those in faith, some believe, what, mtanam, uNkulunkulu will help me. I don't need to get vaccinated. My, faith in God will heal me or protect me from this virus. What do I say as a young person if ugogo or umkhulu says this to me?
It's interesting because I was talking to my aunt-in-law about this very same thing just the other day, and she says,
that's true. It happens. So we hear this.
But, you see, but you know what you said? We said to her that vaccinate because we really love to come and visit you. We cannot visit you unless we know that you've been vaccinated. So that then becomes the motivation. I think I'll do it. I want to see you, so I will vaccinate. So young people should use every trick in the book to try and persuade their loving grandmothers, their aunts, their gogos to really sign up for the vaccination. There are lots of these people in the Stokvels, lots of people in the women's Mañanos. Please, please, this Thursday must be about vaccinations in the Mañanos meetings.
And, when we're talking about this vaccination drive and also getting the youth involved, it seems you're making a call to institutions here, to church leaders, to actively get involved. And I just want to touch on, some of the data we're seeing here, Bishop, in terms of mobility data from the Easter holidays, where it seems that there was less movement. Are we seeing church leaders and congregants actually heeding calls when they are made by government as well as institutions as yourselves in terms of abiding by these protocols, but also playing an active role in ensuring that we get as many people vaccinated as possible, if not all?
First of all, we have to congratulate and thank the churches for their sacrifice over Easter. It was a huge sacrifice, and they made it happen. We were very afraid that they would trigger the third wave, and they did not. And we were also fearful that the May 1 weekend might trigger so we're still watching for that. But the point here is to say everybody has a role. We're asking specifically the churches to say, make sure that everybody in your congregation and their neighbors, every gogo knows other gogos. Let those people be put together and be registered. But we also want to say that we want to follow up and make sure that we check on their progress and the performance of the vaccine in their lives. And these are the things that we're asking the churches to do in their neighborhoods.